Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 16th of April 2023. Thanks for joining me. I want to use my deck of cards today, the Gregory Tarot. So I want to show you some of these because I'm really proud of them and any excuse to show them off. So here we've got the little booklet. So I'm really happy with these because I wrote all the descriptions and the artist really just executed it, I think, beautifully. And it's a unique take on the tarot, like the devil card with the guy in the bell jar. That's like unique to this deck, and there are a couple of cards which are unusual. Okay, so let's see what these cards have to say about Sunday then, and what energy you'll be working with on this day. Okay, so first card, I want to pick 4 today. Got the Queen of Wands. Ooh, power couple. King of Cups. It's a good day for relationships straight off the bat. Wow, then we've got the King of Pentacles. It's starting to look like a committee now. And let's see who the final person is. The final player. The 4 of Cups. Someone who's totally uninterested in any of these things. Oh, I love it. Because the 4 of Cups is someone, usually it's depicted as a young man who's sitting under a tree and he's kind of like sulking. And he's got these 3 cups in front of him. They're full of wonderful things. He should be grateful, right? Another cup is being delivered to him. And he's so wrapped up in his own world that he misses the good stuff that's coming in. In my case, I wanted to express that as this is based on those, you know, those Irish folk tales. And again, I'm not an expert, but where there were fairy rings and they used to kind of abduct people into the realms of the fairies. And that's what's happening in that scene here with the 4 of Cups. And it's someone who's living in the land of the fairies, basically. He's not seeing reality very clearly. He's not interested in money, which the King of Pentacles is. He's not interested in emotions, although the fantasy love aspect he might be somewhat interested in, cups and cups. And the Queen of Wands, in terms of building something and finding constructive purpose in his life, also no. He'd rather kind of, play with the fairies and zone out and not be present. Yeah, I guess the thing I wanted to express with that is, with like feelings of your perspective is really everything. If you can't get your head right, and I'm speaking for myself as much as anybody else, and the perspective is off, then all of life is off. And the desire to kind of just escape from life is not helpful. I mean, to most people that will be a very redundant kind of statement. But to me, who has always tried to like hide in something to escape reality, like if it's a book or if it was drugs or anything that kind of would distract me, it's not a good way to be. So the 4 of Cups is that tendency, and in my deck of cards, it's not just being ungrateful, it's being completely checked out, I suppose. So as usual, I've heightened the theme of the card. And these 3 are actually very productive citizens. These are moral citizens. They contribute things. They're all in charge of their elements. They are valuable and respected, and they live happy lives. So the first message I feel is on this day, checking out on this day is not a good thing to do. Checking out in general isn't a good thing to do overall. Not just on this day, but in life. Because the Queen of Wands, she's at her art opening, she's thrilled. She has like painted this lion and a landscape, and she is just taking a bow because she's so proud of her hard work, and she's so thrilled with the reception she's getting. People are applauding, saying, oh my God, this is the best. She's got a black cat there protecting her as a not so much as a bodyguard, but in terms of protecting her outlook on life. So that's a really interesting link, because the black cat always appears in the Queen of Wands cards, in most decks anyway, and I wanted to include it in mine too, because the Queen of Wands is someone she lives such a joyous, happy existence. She's creative, she lives in the moment, she does things she enjoys, she doesn't sit around and ruminate, she's outgoing. And the black cat, the protection, is from all the negative stuff in life that can really kind of dampen that inner flame. So if the reception here had been less than ideal, she'd still take a bow and she'd still be proud of her accomplishments, regardless of what the reception of the work is, because she's emotionally able to protect herself and to pursue the things she wants in life with a positive outlook, without letting all the downer things distract her or derail her. She's really someone to envy, and someone's outlook like that is enviable. So we've got her, then we've got the king. Sorry, Queen of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands, then we've got the King of Cups. The King of Cups here looks very kind of conservative and formal, which I kind of like, because he's dressed in this buttoned up kind of thing. So he has emotional control. He has an abundance of love and compassion and empathy and kindness and intuition and creativity and all these things, but he's not governed by it, he governs it. So he is buttoned up in a way because he knows how to manage his own temperament, his own feelings, and how to use his feelings and his kind of inner compass as a tool to guide him through life and to build amazing relationships which flourish and which are full of joy and happiness and compassion and just the best kind of relationships you can have. And him being the King of Cups, he's the one who creates these things. So he initiates, he goes out of his way to make connections. So the King of Cups will connect very well with the Queen of Wands on this day. So there's a emotional spark, a potential for love and romance on this day. And again, only if you show up and put yourself in situations with other people, not if you're checked out away with the fairies. Then also he will reach out to the King of Pentacles and vice versa. The King of Pentacles, his priority is money and matters of the physical world. So careers and physical health and safety and security and houses and countries and land and anything that exists on this planet. And so he has a lot of power here. So I wanted him depicted as kind of King Midas almost. The armor is about, I expect negativity. There's going to be control issues when it comes to acquiring land or money or things like that. And the gold is that he's mastered this aspect of life. He does very well for himself. So the King of Pentacles is someone who is exceptional when it comes to, creating a prosperous, but also a secure and comfortable and safe kind of environment for himself and for other people. So with all these, so first of all, the court cards, they appear as people in your life or as characteristics. So let's say if we've got, this is a party, right? Actual people showing up. There may be, and the gender I always think is irrelevant. Other than the qualities of the queen and king, I take those into account. But in terms of people actually showing up in your life, I think it can be either. So either it's someone who is very passionate and invested in their process, and that's someone you can be inspired and motivated by. Speaking of which, I watched the Brooke Shields documentary. It's amazing. She's she's like an inspiration. I thought it was brilliant. Okay, so someone like that, the King of Cups is someone who is emotionally very reliable and trustworthy and has a good heart and a good soul. The King of Pentacles is someone who's a business mastermind and who can make things happen. And then the Four of Cups is the person who can't cope and has to check out all the time, whether it's via, changing his mood through substances or behaviors or whatever it may be. So you've got 3 good eggs and a bad apple. Sorry, that's a mixed metaphor. So if it's in terms of people, then it's a good time to be around people. Don't trust everything you hear and believe, and focus on the people you think are doing things which inspire you and motivate you, and where you have a level of, wow, that's amazing. In terms of characteristics, you're not going to be short of interests on this day. So first of all, the Queen of Wands, if you want to be creative, if you want to do something about your life purpose or discover it, she will help you with that through exercise, through meditation, through some sort of creative process. The King of Cups is going to help you have wonderful relationships on this day, to have empathy and compassion for others, and to see the best in other people, and to really see without being asked, what can I bring to the table here to make this situation better? You know, like, just as a really silly example, like if you're invited to a dinner party and everyone seems to be really glum and it's kind of drab, and you know the person has been cooking for hours trying to make it nice for people, then if you're in a positive state of mind or something, it's saying, okay, I'm going to like engage in people in conversation and liven this up to make people feel better in a way, or to improve the atmosphere for everybody. The King of Pentacles will help you to get any work done that needs doing. If you need to get disciplined with something, if you feel like you need to take charge of something in your life, then the King of Pentacles helps you do that on a physical level. So if you feel like your body is out of control in some way, or you've lost control over something that's going on for you, it's a good way of finding, in a practical way, a way of getting that control back. And then with the Four of Cups, there's also the tendency, so we've got all these good potential things happening. Here we've got the tendency to completely throw that out the window and to be ungrateful. It's interesting, they've started drilling now as I started speaking about the Four of Cups. Because this is an annoying quality, like the drill. I'm sorry about the noise. But having this characteristic in oneself is irritating because it's so destructive. You never get anywhere. So the message is, there are a lot of great opportunities on this day. There are great opportunities for relationships, to learn, to help one another, to really have a fabulous time. But there's also, like with most things, the potential downfall of throwing that out the window and just saying, do you know what, I'm going to sit here and feel sorry for myself because things didn't go the way I wanted. Which, I'm sorry, I have to not be a hypocrite. And I have a tendency to do that. That's why I wanted to exaggerate this version, instead of just, you know, ingratitude is one thing, but you can take it to a whole nother level and say, I am done with all of this, and I'm just going to live in my own little fantasy land and feel sorry for myself. So, yeah, that's the no. Okay, so then court cards count as one. We've got 3 of them, so we've got 3, and 4 is 7. 7 is the mind and creativity. So it's about getting creative with your mindset and enjoying all the good stuff and exercising some discipline, which all of these people have because they're the masters of their elements. You do have the self-control and the self-discipline. If you find yourself kind of becoming unproductive in your outlook, or somewhat less than constructive in your thinking, then just nip it in the bud, basically. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, numerology, and my intuition. And to draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. Once I have your birth chart, I can analyze that, and it tells me a great deal about your work, your characteristics, relationships, life purpose. So if you have any questions, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.